Blue Jays. Rangers up 2-0 in the fifth. Frank Catalanato. That's going to be a double. Hank Blaylock will score on that. Raul Mondesi come up throwing, but his throw, that was supposed to be to second base. That allowed Calvin Murray to score from first. Rangers would score 4 in the fifth. 3 Blue Jay errors. Buck Martinez. What about Buck Martinez? 'Tis the season to fire managers. Could Buck be the next to go? You can make it a season-high 5 straight wins, though, for Texas. The Blue Jays committing a season-high 3 errors. They've lost 8 in a row for the first time since June of 1995.
The Angels on a 7-game winning streak, averaging nearly 10 runs per game. Mickey Hatcher's been wearing that lucky sweater, only takes it off the bait, I think. David Eckstein popped up the bunt, and Brandon Lyon made a great diving catch. Jays leading 3-1. 4-3 Jays, 2 men on in the 7th, and Darren Erstad, who's burning it up. Erstad, second of the season. He was 2 for 4 in the game, 6 multi-hit games in his last 9, and the Angels have a 6-4 lead. Bottom 9, still 6-4, bases loaded. Carlos Delgado against Troy Percival, and he has a seat. Then Raul Mondesi. That'll be quite simple. Mondesi did have a couple of hits. His average barely over 200, but not when they needed it the most. And the Angels have now won 8 in a row, 6-4 the final. It's the longest run for Anaheim since a 9-game streak 4 years ago, and they've outscored their opponents.
Producer happy. Meanwhile, Anaheim at Toronto. The Blue Jays won to get off the schneid for Uncle Bucky yesterday, but this one is Ramon Ortiz, and boy, does he look sharp. Meanwhile, Luke Prokopek, they changed his delivery. This looks like a video game.
Super Play 2000. 2-0.
Molina scores, Kennedy scores 4-0. It just doesn't look real.
No, it doesn't.
A? Meanwhile, Ortiz, and on this day, video game or not, gets some pretty good stuff, and the heart of the order is killing the Blue Jays.
Yeah, they're really struggling, but this guy's got a chance to really do some great things if he continues to be consistent. Consistency's been his problem.
Anytime you see a guy overmatch left-handed hitters or right-handed pitchers, you got to like his chances, Harold.
So he's got a great slider, good curveball. Look at that nasty slide piece right there.
He does a great job of making balls appear as a strike and have them leave the strike.
Baby Pedro, that's what they call it.
Well, Baby Pedro looked awfully impressive with 10 strikeouts as the Angels have won it by the count of 8-2. The Angels are a hot club.
Apparently losing is giving Buck Martinez gray hair. He lost 15 of the last 18. Top second, though, Vernon Wells. First of his 2 knocks coming off James Baldwin. Carlos Delgado will score 1-zip Jays. In the third, Jose Cruz Jr. That's going to stay fair. That's going to rattle in the right field corner. Joey Lawrence coming home, and I smell a Jays win blossoming. Roy Halladay taking over. First inning. Thank you. Goodbye, John Ulrich. Just looking. Ichiro. Backdoor slider. 4-homer Mike Cameron in the 4th. Not fishing. Just looking at the hook. Finally in the 5th, Mark McLemore. He can't get the bat off his shoulder either. Halladay 7 2/3. 4 hits, 5 Ks, 1 earned run. Jays win it by a count of 4-1. Seattle now has lost 4 of its last 5 at home. A downer for the Jays. Shannon Stewart goes on the 15-day DL with a right hamstring strain.
On 1 out, 1 man on. Blue Jays down 1. Buck Martinez making things happen. Sends Raul Mondesi to second. Ben Davis's throw goes into center field, and Mondesi's now on third with 1 out. Same at bat, it's Vernon Wells. And yes, he provides the necessary fly ball to plate Mondesi and send this game to extra innings. We're tied at 4. Bottom 10, 1 out, 2 men on. One of those men is Ichiro on third base. John Olerud grounds it to Joey Lawrence, who's right there, but Ichiro, he's swift. And the Mariners win this game in extras 5-4. Ichiro's got an 8-game hit streak. He had a 3-hit game in this one. The Mariners have the American League leader in batting average on their team. Is it Ichiro? Is it Brett Boone? Oh, no. It's Ruben Sierra, now leading the league with a .358 average.
Mariners trailing 2-1. Brett Boone facing Brandon Lyon, and get off me, ball! That's a home run, but hold the phone. Raul Mondesi, known for his arm, goes up with his glove and robs Boone of a home run. It's a ground rule double. Boone can't believe it. Top 6, Carlos Delgado. I am William Wallace with a stare for Jamie Moyer. That's just massive. Into the second deck, his second homer off Jamie Moyer, his 9th of the year. We're tied at 3. Bottom 9, Mariners down 7-6. Ichiro into left, flares it in there for a single. Luis Ugueto comes in to score. We are all knotted up, a touchdown apiece. Bottom 11, 2 on, 2 out. Corey Thurman walks Charles Gibson, and he is in a tight spot, fellas. It's a tight spot. Next batter, Mike Cameron. He hit 4 home runs a week ago. That is ball 4. That's it, and that's all. Mark McLemore comes on in, touches the dish, and the Mariners win it 8-7. The always popular walk-off walk. 16 walks for the Mariners in the game. That's a club record. The Mariners have won 6 of their last 7. The Jays have lost 7 of 8, including 12 of 14 overall, 7 of 8 on the road, I should say. Ichiro, 2 hits, extends his hitting streak to 9. Carlos Delgado's excellent evening wasted. Meanwhile, the Mariner pen will be a bit thin for a while as
A's, that youngster, glad that Mark Mulder is back in action for the first time in a month. So is Tony Wilson. He is when deep, and he just refuses to come down. Eventually over the head of Jeremy Giambi. Carlos Delgado eases home. Raul Mondesi also is not exactly going to pull anything as he strolls on in. 2-0 Blue Jays. Bottom third, 4-1 Jays. Randy Velarde, single to center. Vernon Wells, Burns charging. He's got a hose. Jeremy Giambi, he does a fine job in the leadoff spot. He gets on base, but he's not swift.
not Carl Lewis.
Not really that fast. He's out. Top 4-2 Blue Jays. That'd be hard not to. Wilson, that's now Terrence Long going to get his try at Eric Hinske. And that one just kind of hops on in. Hinske gets there first. 5-2 Blue Jays. Mulder's line 4 1/3, 8 hits, 6 earned runs. But I'm sure Oakland glad to have him back and healthy, even though they have now lost a season-high 4 straight games at Networks Coliseum.
Bottom of the second, A's up 2-0. Jeremy Giambi at the plate, Eric Chavez on deck, Justin Miller on the mound. We've covered everything that's going on here. Looks like Frank Menechino on second base. Now what you see there is Miller goes to his mouth while on the dirt of the pitching mound. That's an automatic ball. It was a full count, so home plate umpire Gary Cederstrom sends Giambi to first to load the bases. Next batter, Eric Chavez. I am William Wallace. The 4th grand slam of his career. And the A's are up 6-0. Top 6. A's up 6-1. Barry Zito. That is sinister to Carlos Delgado. Strike 3. The next batter is Raul Mondesi, who gets a little bit of it to center field, but Terrence Long is on the case. Putting the, I got it, sunglasses, glove. No, I don't. Yo la tenga. The ball rolls into the outfield where it's picked up by Miguel Tejada, but he's sort of lollygagging. You can't lollygag. Raul Mondesi not lollygagging. He comes in with his 8th home run of the year and inside the Parker. Blue Jays down 6-2. Now you see what happened. Tejada picks it up, then he starts running it in. All right, he's not lollygagging it in, but he should have thrown it in. He didn't. And Mondesi comes in, sliding under the tag. He's safe. Top 8, A's up 7-2. Mike Magnante on the mound, and Delgado strikes out for the 4th time in the game. That's the first time all year that has happened to him. A's win at 7-4. Oakland ends a 4-game slide. Barry Zito has won 11 consecutive decisions at home. Eric Chavez batted 3rd for the first time all year. Skipper Art House said he will be there on Sunday. Chavez has 29 hits this year, 20 for extra.
Oakland 3-7 in May. Top 5. Blue Jays up 3-0. I'm sorry, I meant to say they were up 5-0. Carlos Delgado, Corey Lytle, Vernon Wells will score in front of him. And there you have it, the Blue Jays. Top 9 now, Toronto up 8-3, and there's Delgado again, this time on former teammate Billy Koch. Delgado also had 2 homers on Thursday in Seattle. And Toronto wins at 11-4, taking their first series in nearly a month when they beat Tampa Bay. Roy Halladay matched his season high with 8 strikeouts, earned his first win in 5 career starts against Oakland.
Going through 5, trouble in the 6th. Vernon Wells leading off. That's strike 3. First out, but Wells gets to first. So Garcia's got 1 strikeout after a ground rule double, 2 on for Cruz Jr. Second strikeout of the inning, but still only 1 out. Garcia, that's his 3rd punch out of the inning, but again, only 2 outs. He would have 4 strikeouts in the inning to make 3, but Eric Hinske singles to right and scores Wells and Dave Berg.
He got that 0-2 fastball inside. He wasn't able to get it where he wanted it. It just opened up the floodgates.
Tom Wilson to right scores Delgado, 4-3 Jays. Tom Wilson again. We have contact. Wilson 2nd of the game, 3rd of the year, and the Blue Jays get a little offense. Win it by a final score of 6-3. What happened to Ichiro? 0 for 5. A rare bagel for him. He also made his first error of the season.
Meantime, Carlos Guillen, who you like him with 3 for 4, his 4th home run.
One of the smoothest fielding players you will see.
Area home plate on Paul Emmel discussing something with Blue Jays manager Buck Martinez. Lou Piniella seems to agree with the resolution of what's being discussed. Turns out those rotating billboards behind home plate distracting the Mariner infielders. The billboards changed to a darker color, but not completely taken away. And Jamie Moore says, whatever, I'm just going to pitch. So his first pitch after the delay, gone. By Jose Cruz Jr., his 6th of the year, and the Blue Jays are up 6-3. Top of the 9th, tied at 6. Billboard's not completely gone. 2 runners on. Brett Boone with the billboards dark. That's a shot off the wall. Ichiro and Mark McLemore would come in to score. Boone 2 for 5. Mariners taking their first lead of the game 8-6. Bottom line, 2 outs. Blue Jays threatening with the bases loaded and the dark billboards. Sasaki getting Cruz to ground back to the mound. And the force to end the game. Mariners taking a bow on their 8-6 win. Obviously, the Mariner infielders, Scott, were distracted by those Viagra advertisements.
Hey now.
I've seen them there. Mariners improved to a Major League best 15-3 on the road. Brett Boone has an 11-game hitting streak. He's hitting .410 during that stretch. And for the 18th time in 37 games, the Blue Jays have allowed at least 7 runs in a game. McLemore getting his frequent flyer miles off of Luke Prokopek. Number 4 for McLemore, 5-0 Mariners. Prokopek would say later, this is the toughest lineup he's ever faced, that's for sure. Joel Pinheiro getting Carlos Delgado, 1 for 3 on the night. Pinheiro getting Raul Mondesi, he was 0 for 3. Pinheiro getting Jose Cruz Jr. on the break-in stuff. 7 innings, 0 earned runs, 6 Ks. 7th inning was unforgettable. Mike Cameron, he owned it, leading off the 7th with a single. Carlos Guillen at the plate. Cameron is a thief, stealing second. The second steal of the game for Cameron. Ben Davis's turn at the plate. Cameron says, what the heck, it's my inning. Linda Cohn said so. Steals third base.
That settles it.
Yeah. Jeff Cirillo at the plate. Wild pitch by Felix Heredia, and Cameron scores. Cameron manufactures a run with his speed. Still in the 7th inning, bags full. Guess who's up?
No.
Mike Cameron. His 3rd career grand slam. This one coming off Pete Walker. 15-2, Seattle, number 10 for Cameron. Cameron in the 7th, 2 for 2, a single, a homer, 2 stolen bases, 2 runs scored. Top of the 8th, Mark McLemore. Speaking of guys with big games, 5 for 5 for McLemore, tying a club record. He also matched a career high. Mariners cruising 15-2. Carlos Guillen did something in this game that you will see later in top plays.
I'll watch.
Anyway, now you know why they call Mike Cameron streaky. His grand slam was his first homer since his 4-homer explosion game on May 2nd. That's 11 games without going deep. Said Cameron on his performance.
Martinez, hair getting grayer by the day, and Roy Halladay in a bit of a jam against the A's. 2 men on, no outs, but Halladay makes a great play on the sac bunt attempt by Ramon Hernandez. 1 out. Next batter, Eric Burns, and pitcher's best friends go something like this. 6 for 3 Halladay, 7 2/3, 1 earned run. Bottom of the 5th, 2 men on, 1-0 Jay. Shannon Stewart changes that abruptly. Where's this one headed? That's not off the windows, into the seats. Shannon Stewart helping out with the bat. Roy Halladay bests Oakland for the 2nd time in as many starts. Only 4 earned run in his last 22 2/3. Halladay said he didn't have his best stuff. Terrence Long of Oakland said, if he didn't, I don't want to see him when he does. Toronto wins for only the 3rd time in its last 12 home games.
Bottom 3, Carlos Delgado to right, and this is going to score Jose Cruz Jr. Delgado winds up with a double, and the Jays have a 3-0 lead. And they keep pouring it on. In that 3rd inning, it's Eric Hinsky. He came to Toronto from Oakland for Billy Koch. And he goes yard his 7th. Hinsky, along with starter Justin Miller, he gets the win against his old team.
Carlos Delgado stepping in on Tim Hudson, and hello, Windows. Big-time blast by Delgado. When it goes, it goes. Right now, it's gone for the A's pitchers. Here's Hudson again. That's Felipe Lopez. Right now thinking gone, and it is. 2-run shot, 7th of the year, 3-zip. Esteban Loaiza, 2nd start, looking filthy here. Terrence Long, 3-6, tag him out, double play. Jermaine Dye gets erased. It's 4-zip through 5. 5-zip after Loaiza allowed another hit to Dye, and Terrence Long with another double play, this time 6-4-3. A complete game, two-hitter. He faced 28 batters. And the Blue Jays win it by a final score of 11-0. What the heck has gone on with the A's and their pitchers?
Look at all those offers, my goodness.
Weiser was great, 7 Ks. He didn't walk anybody. You see the 79 strikes on 110 pitches. He got ahead of just about everybody. Bottom of the Blue Jays order does the most damage. Vernon Wells, Lopez, Huckabee combined to go 4-4-10. Lopez's home run was his 7th.
Scratch from his start with a sore back. Sterling Mitch got gone for his first start of the season. It's a 1-2-3 first. Jose Cruz Jr. waves at it. Brandon Leone facing Bernie Williams in the bottom half of the first. And, well, that's awfully far. That's not a little tiny home run. That's a very big one that time.
Look at the Pelicans, Manny.
2-zip Yankees. Williams' 9th home run. Hitchcock to Vernon Wells. That gets through. Tom Wilson will score 3 straight RBI singles. Doesn't Hitchcock. Last 4 innings, 3 runs, 3 allowed. But Nick Johnson helping out. That's going to score Robin Ventura. We're tied at 3. Johnson's 23rd RBI of the season. Top 5 same scorer, Miro Mendoza. It's Delgado. That's a home run if we're playing in a silo. Derek Jeter, he's dreaming.
No, he's
all that in. Mendoza, 3 innings, 1 hit, 3 strikeouts. Felix ready on, dealing to Ventura. And Ventura, that also has good distance and even better aim. Look out for the honk pull. 4-3 Yanks. Ventura's 12th homer, tied for the AL lead. The Yanks end up winning it by a count of 6-3. The Yanks make it 3 dozen, really. Got the 12 homers for Ventura. 12 straight games with a homer for the team and 12 wins.
Toronto has a Wells, and he strikes out him. You've seen his fastball up high. Moose looking good on 3 days rest. Meanwhile, Don Zimmer, he's a Yoda. He's a Jedi. We need to hit home runs. Jason Giambi, he pole axes this one. Is it a homer? Well, if it's foul, it's a strike. It hits the foul pole, so it's a homer. Number 10, and watch the body English. I'm not going to say Carlton Fisk because there's some history between the clubs, and the youngster says, wowie, wowie, wow. Carlos Delgado whiffs. Eric Hinsky on the off-speed. 5 Ks from Ucini. Looked awfully good on the 3 days rest. Those are Moose's. Back to the Zim Master. Must have power. Rondell White delivers. High and deep, and is it out? Yes, it is. Yankees win it 4-1. They're leaving the building with regularity, and the youngster again, the Continental, wowie, wowie, wow. Mike Mussina now 14-7 in his career against Toronto. This is his first win of the year at the stadium. Yanks have won 13 of 14. Don't look now, Boston. That's the Yanks in the rear view.
It was Adrian Hernandez head going round and round. The Yanks emergency starter hit hard by Toronto. Meanwhile, Jason Giambi, he was 2 for 5 in this game with an RBI. Vernon Wells, the throw home. And Nick Johnson, he wants to do that slide over again and gets tagged out by Tom Wilson. Bottom of the second, tied at 1, bases full for Derek Jeter against Roy Halladay. Jeter 1 for 5, 2 strikeouts. He left 5 on. Before the game, Carlos Delgado described his swing to us. Carlos, go.
To get the bat head out front, keep it in front of your body. You don't want to start doing this because then slow down your swing and your bat head is behind you. So you want to attack the ball with your body behind you and the head of the bat trying to meet the ball out front.
All right, we got you, Carlos. Base is full. There's Carlos Delgado. Oh, so that's what you
like
mean.
That. Something like that.
So simple. Joe Lawrence, Eric Hinsky, Raul Mondesi would all score thanks to Carlos Delgado's double. Blue Jays go on to crush the Yanks. Delgado with his 3 RBI Wednesday now has 739 of those for his career with Toronto, moving him past Joe Carter for 2nd place on the team's all-time list, 1 behind George Bell. The Blue Jays had lost 10 of 13 on the road before their victory at Yankee Stadium on Wednesday.
Indians fresh off getting swept by the Tigers, taking on the Jays. Omar Vizquel taking on Justin Miller with a man on. And that's not out of the park, but it's just about as effective. It's a triple. Matt Lawton comes in. Vizquel finishes 2 for 4 with a couple of ribs. The Indians go on to get their 4th road win in their last 19 games. Go Tribe.
He walked Jim Thome to Travis Fryman, and Travis Fryman doesn't appreciate it. 3-run shot off Esteban Loaiza, his 5th. 3-0 Indians.
Indians, Blue Jays. Jim Thome, can you hear me?
Wow, my homie Thome.
Yeah, in Skydome off Luke Prokopek. Mike, good thing the roof was open. He almost got out of there. His 11th. Ball.
Well, oops. What happened?
Miscommunication.
Somebody forgot to tell him he's playing behind him over here, or in front of him in this case. Bunch in order. He got a backdoor pick on supposedly. A lot of things can go wrong.
In that kind of year, hasn't it, for the Jays? Matt Lawton, base hit. Russell Brandon scores 2-1 try. Bottom 6, 3-1. Bartolo Colon against Mondesi. Runner at third. Colon. Shannon Stewart's out.
Wow.
About Colon here.
This is a great play, just bare hand reaction play, because he really didn't have a play at first. He just went ahead and went home with the play in front of him. Nice play.
See, that was obviously expensive, Colon. Dave Berg against Colon. A whip of Colon. At any rate, complete game, 5 Ks, just 2 walks. The Indians win it by the count of 3-1. A 4-hit job by Colon, who's now 6-3. We showed you Tomey's homer is 11th. And a 3-game sweep by Cleveland of Toronto. We showed you the other Polite going to the Blue Jays, Plesac going from the Jays to the Phillies.
It's opening a 10-game road trip with 3 in Toronto. Bottom 2, Eric Hinsky. Right side, Lou Merlone flips to Frank Castillo. Merlone, the pride of Framingham, Mass, in for the injured Ray Sanchez. He was 2 for 4 at the plate. Bottom 5, Jays down 6-2, 2 outs, bases loaded for Raul Mondesi. This is going to score 2. Mondesi 2 for 4. He drove in 4. It's 6-4. After an intentional pass to Carlos Delgado, Castillo brings up Eric Hinsky. Jays leave 3. Castillo allowed 4 runs on 5 hits in 5. Top 9 now. Nomar Garcia-Parra hammered off Cliff Polite, making his Jays debut. 7th for Nomar. He was 3 for 4. Red Sox hold on 8-6. Oogie save number 16. Boston wins after dropping the last 2 games of their series against the Yankees.
3 against the Jays, gave up 7 earned, trying to go to 8-0 this season, though. Cruz Jr. gets walked.
Well, he had a lot of trouble with his command earlier. See, set up outside, the ball inside. This has happened to him in 3 or 4 starts, where 1 or 2 innings is taking him to get loose.
Eric Hinsky singles in the left. Stat played Shannon Stewart. Blue Jays got a lead. Pedro, relatively calm. Bottom 2, 3-zip. Cruz Jr. Broken bat, single. Dave Berg's in. Pedro's in a 4-0 hole after that inning. Brady Little making sure everything's okay. Gives a good pep talk, and then Jose Offerman leaves the yard. 4th home run of the season. Red Sox down 4-2.
Brady Little says we're a better team when Jose Offerman's in the lineup.
Pedro, 4-2, settling in. Dave Berg staring.
I think he found his release point.
Yeah.
Shea Hillenbrand comes up in a big spot. Red Sox down a run with 2 on. How about that piece of hitting? That ball was nearly at his shoe tops outside. He golfs one all the way to the wall. That looked like it would be a flare over the second baseman's head. Tied at 4 as Garcia-Parra's in. Cruz Jr., Tim Wakefield on in relief. Lou Merlone from second base. That's some range.
Good governor.
That's running from Framingham all the way into Boston. Inning over. Escobar walks Dahlbach. Bases loaded. Hillenbrand, hee-haw, in the dirt.
Split. He threw in 2 great splits in that at bat.
Escobar, Veritek. A walk kills you. Yep.
A great at-bat by Jason Veritek. Fouled off a couple prior to that. Spit on that last one.
Red Sox get the road wins 6-4. Arojo did the job on Monday, and Tim Wakefield does the job on Tuesday. Middle relievers, and Ugat Thurbin has been great, hasn't he?
He has been. The warmer it gets, the better it is. He was throwing 89 to 92 early in the season. It was cold. Went into Tampa, got warm, got it up to 98, and he has been at 98. Now finding that tilt slider that is so tough.
Red Sox are the anti-Phillies. Careful on the road. They are 19-4 away from home.
This is Johnny Damon at the plate. Henderson off and running. Make it 1,399 for his career. Damon would knock him in for a 1-0 lead, by the way. Let's take a look back 12 years ago, Wednesday. Henderson, who could forget, breaking Ty Cobb's 62-year-old AL stolen base record. Yep, who can forget him lifting the base?
I'm the greatest of all time.
Exactly. Game tied at 3. He did say that. Raul Mondesi, no doubt. Off of John Burkett, Mondesi's 11th home run of the year. This one a solo home run. Blue Jays go up 4-3. Top 7 tie game. Henderson up to it again. Pause for effect.
Ricky takes off.
Dramatic.
Yes, he did it again. Tom Wilson's throw not close. That's Henderson's 1,400th career stolen base. 2 batters later, Brian Dahlbach. He's only hit of the game. and it was a good one. 3-run home run, his 8th of the year. Red Sox sweep the Blue Jays. Red Sox improving to 20-4 on the road, the best start away from home in the majors since the Tigers had the same mark back in 1984, the year Detroit went on to win the World Series. Burkett now 6-0, Pedro already 7-0. I mention this for this reason, because those two become the first Red Sox starting tandem to start a season at least 6-0 since 1978, when Luis Tiant and Spaceman Bill Lee pulled it off.
A winning streak in nearly 7 years as they host Toronto, but Carlos Delgado plays for Toronto, and that was a problem for Adam Bernero. Delgado into the vacancy out in Comerica. Shannon Stewart, Raul Mondesi come in. Delgado's 9th career triple. He also did something which we'll show you later. Blue Jays win 4-2.